guys, this is part 2 of my Wild Ivy samples. This is the fall part, so these are like the fall / Halloween scents that I had never tried before. I showed you the woodland cider one earlier, and I'm dressed up as a flapper right now because it's Halloween and I'm happy. Okay, so I'm going to go through, by the way, she gave me 2 free samples, again, as she always does. She always gives like, she's so generous with her samples. The first scent I tried was a Last Sunflower, and I've got to say, you've got to be a fan of green scents to like this. And I'm a fan of green scents, but for some weird reason, most green scents, depending, they just turn bad on my skin. So, but it smells good. Like, it does smell like a sunflower scent, and I did try a different sunflower scent from someone else, and I guess it really wasn't for me. I love sunflowers. But, yeah, it's kind of just, it's kind of like, it reminds me of what sunflowers would smell like if they were slowly, like, you know, passing away. Not sad. Just like air drying. It smells like a real thing happening, like a real natural scent. A real thing happening. Okay. I'm not gonna get too dorky through this video. Okay, what else do I have? Oh yeah, ginger and brulee. It smells exactly like ginger and brulee. It smells like creme brulee with the spiciness to it. It's really good. It's definitely, if you're into sweet and sugary scents, that's for sure. It's good. Let's see. I wore it once, and it was very, like, sweet, sugary, and spicy. So, you can't really go wrong with it. It's kind of simple, but it's great for layering, too. But it's a good scent. And then I'm gonna go through, Hello September. Hello. Yes, hello, you're amazing. Hello September, when I wore it, I was like, wow. The colors in the bottle, the yellow, that really does remind me of how it smells. It smells kind of like, I don't know, kind of like as if you're smelling the color yellow of a leaf. Not really, but how I imagine the feeling of, like, that warm feeling of seeing all of that fall foliage. I saw tons of fall foliage in Portland, Oregon, and just in Oregon, driving everywhere. This reminds me of that. This reminds me of those memories of seeing all of those leaves and just the warm feeling I had inside. Because it smells fresh, like leaves are fresh and, like, dewy. Like, it has, like, a dew scent to it, but it kind of morphs into, like, a floral, but it has this great base of vanilla-y-ness or something. It feels so warm and cozy. It's a cozy scent, and you can't go wrong with that. I mean, I love it. I think it's great. I'm getting a full-size bottle. I'm so lucky. I love it. I'm just getting over a cold, but I'm at that point in my cold where I can assess how good a scent is now, finally. Vintage honey is super interesting. It's different. It kind of, it's weird how the names of her scents smell like how they are called or whatever. So vintage honey, it doesn't smell like an exact honey scent. It kind of smells like an antiquated honey scent. And almost like you're one of those great ladies in the 20s or something. Kind of fancy in a way. It's interesting. It's very golden. So if you're into the color yellow or honey or vintage or anything, try it out. It's pretty awesome. The sample that she included, which was Spice Trader, I actually really dig it. It's kind of sexy because it's just spicy. It's spicy, and it's definitely unisex. A guy or a girl could wear it. In a way, smelling it on myself makes me want myself. Like, I want you. You smell so good. So, at Spice Trader. But like I said, I can't really pick out the notes with that one, but it's just spicy and sensual to me. To me, it's sensual. I don't have it with me because I gave it to my friend with her full-size bottle, Black Cat number 13, which is amazing. But I gave her Pumpkin Masquerade to sample some of Wylde Ivy's fragrances, and Pumpkin Masquerade, from my memory, starts off kind of masculine in a way, kind of unisex, I guess. And it's very pumpkin-y, but in a mysterious way. So it's kind of like what it's saying, Pumpkin Masquerade. And it's sort of peppery, but it's one of those fall scents that you're like, wow, that's really different, that's awesome. And then I'll just review Kiss Me in the Park. This is a different one, honestly. It's like, wow, for a second there, it reminded me of honeycomb. Like real honeycomb. But when you spray it, at least for the time that I sprayed it, it was at nighttime. I think she wrote in the description that it feels like a scarf wrapped around your neck or something like that. Or you'd want to spray it maybe like that. And it kind of does remind me of that. It sort of reminds me of like how I'm dressed, the 20s. It reminds me of like a night at Gatsby's mansion or something, or like in that time period, people really falling in love in that time period. Like it almost tells a story with the scent, if that makes any sense. It's so different, and it feels cozy, and it feels kind of like just vintage. It smells vintage. It's not Old Lady. I don't want to mix it up with Old Lady. That's just bad. Whenever someone says Old Lady, they mean like, oh, it smells like nasty perfume, old perfume. It doesn't smell like that. It smells very like, just very vintage, and in that kind of way, it's special and unique. And I think it's actually a pretty amazing scent in that respect to create something like that, because it kind of creates a memory for me. There's something in here, there's another one that's also like that for me, and it's called Eye of the Wolf. I know this is crazy, I know it sounds ridiculous, and I'm such a dork, but when I smelled Eye of the Wolf, which is in her Halloween collection, I almost came to tears. And I don't know, I wasn't like, I'm emotional that time or whatever. I was just, when I wore it, it smelled like empathy. It's just weird. Like, I sprayed it on myself, and I felt empathetic towards myself. Like, I felt empathy. I felt relational towards myself. Like, I could really relate to her, or like relate somehow through the scent. Like, actually, a story in this bottle. There's a story in this perfume. That's weird that our noses can, associate that, like, olfactory-wise. Like, you could smell it and be like, I don't know, it doesn't remind me of anything. But for me, I don't know what it did, but it was powerful. I've never had that before, where I felt like I was going to cry because I felt like I was smelling innocence in a bottle. But innocence in a way where it's like someone is by themselves, and they're innocent, and they deserve better, or they just, like, I don't know what it was. It was like, almost like an innocent child, like, needing nurture, and, maybe that's kind of what the story's about. Maybe the wolf is, I have no idea, I haven't read the story of the Eye of the Wolf. I think I forgot it when I did read it, but maybe the wolf is lonely, but really he's not scary. He's so soft and sweet and childhood-like. This scent is a childhood scent. A childhood-like scent, I should say. It's really different. I can't say anything bad about it, because it really stumped me, and it did something for me. So maybe you should try it, sample it out. It's very, very interesting. Phantom Rose is the next one, and I love how she has these little pictures on it. Phantom Rose smells, it's a good rose scent. Like, I smelled 2 of her rose scents, and I think this is the one I like better, but because I'm not really into green roses. This is more of a really red rose, which is perfect for Phantom of the Opera. It's a red rose in the beginning, and it's that very deep red but innocent smell. It's not like a heady, bad, deep rose smell. It's innocent, and I think that it works perfectly with the name Phantom Rose and with the story. Because you can almost smell like the fresh cut stem with the red rose, and it doesn't smell at all like a fake rose smell. Not even a little bit. It's not artificial smelling. It smells real. It smells like you're smelling a really red rose, and it's wonderful. And then I'm going to show you my favorite scent of all, which I'm getting a full-size bottle of because I'm so lucky. Day of the Sugar Skull. And when I first put it on, I was like, whoa, I want to eat it. And I don't get that with a lot of scents, especially sweet scents. I don't really ever feel like I'm going to eat it or something, but man. So everything smells different out of the bottle. When it develops on your skin, it creates different notes. For me, I smell like Jordan almonds or something. I smell like, I wrote in a review somewhere that it smells like a wedding or something. It just kind of reminds me of, it's vanilla scent, so if you're a vanilla lover, you're gonna love this because it's a completely different take on vanilla. Someone said it reminds them of cookies or something. To me, it just feels like a very sensual vanilla, and if you're into baking, it appeals to you in that way. It's foodie, but not a foodie scent. It's a new kind of scent. I've never smelled anything like it. It's really, really good. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like some fragrances just kind of stump you, and this is one of them that stumps me because on the first sniff, and most people smelling be like, oh, it's a nice vanilla fragrance, but for me, I pick out so much in it that it's like, what's that? What's that? This smells so good. That's amazing. And so it's really, really good. And I'm so lucky because I actually wrote, I submitted a story for Day of the Sugar Skull because I was like, oh, that sounds really fun, I want to write something. And I cannot believe it. They picked my story. I'm super lucky, man. Oh, it smells so good. It smells so, so good. So, yeah, you should read the story. You should check out the sample, the fragrance. It's really, really good. And I know I'm submitting this video way after probably the Halloween scents are already discontinued, but you can know for next year that those were the 3 scents I tried. Eye of the Wolf, Phantom Rose, and Day of the Sugar Skull. And they were all good. So that's why I want to try the other Halloween scents too. But it's amazing. I have to do another video for the spring summer collection, so I'm just going to stop this video and get that one going in a minute.